Hi there. My name is Karin Swanson, and I'm the president at Julius. Julius is a business within Triller that connects brands and creators for partnership opportunities via a robust technology backed by human insights. And our business is global, but I am based in San Francisco, California, born and raised. So, if I had an opportunity to invite an inspiring woman to my dream dinner party, there are two immediate women who come to mind. First is Michelle Obama. I feel like she's just had a lot of cards stacked against her, and people who have sought out basically thinking or wanting to believe that she was going to fail or was a failure before they even gave her a chance. And through that all, she's been able to create such positive change and impact in many different areas. And she does all of that without seemingly much ego. So I think that's super admirable and would love to have her at my dinner party. So, Michelle, if you're hearing this and you're free, let's connect. And the second inspiring woman I would have at my dream dinner party, I don't actually know how to fully pronounce her name. She is the current Prime Minister of Estonia, was just actually reelected this week, Kaja Kallas, probably butchering that, so I do apologize. But the reason I would invite her is because I'm not sure of her politics outside of what's happened with the war in Ukraine, but she has been absolutely fierce defender for Ukraine and representing such a small nation by population as well as land size as Estonia. She has stood up to Russia, and I think a lot of other nations overlook Estonia as, a smaller player, but the table stakes are still very real and very high for them, sharing that border with Russia. And she has just led very powerfully and really represented her people and their interests and their safety. And I would love to have both her and Michelle at dinner and discuss all types of things. It's ironic because I've been in tech for almost a decade now, and I've only had one female mentor and boss that entire time. Her name is Bryn Caruso. She just really helped me understand things that I might want to learn or grow at or develop or ask about to be a woman in tech and just have a seat at that table. She always had my back, but also showed me that sometimes it's okay to make your own path. The path that other leaders at my various roles have had is not necessarily the one that I needed to take. And so I think it was really impactful to have a female leader who said and showed, really leading by example, that you can make your own way. You can choose how you want to get to where you want to go. It doesn't have to follow an existing system or roadmap. And especially in tech, I think that's comforting to remember, especially as a woman, but just in general, that a lot of businesses get to where they want to go via different means. And sometimes it's okay to break that mold. In terms of a piece of advice that I would give to women in tech, I would say this: stay informed. The best way to create opportunity for yourself, in my opinion, in any male-dominated industry is to stay informed. Be willing to learn and absorb as much data and knowledge as possible. You'll be challenged by your approach and your ideas more than men. So the more data you have to validate your findings, the harder it is for people to put you to the side. So again, lasting piece of advice for women in tech: stay informed. When I think about what leaders should do to empower the next generation of women leaders, I speak first to male leaders who represent the majority of executives. And to them, I say two things. First, it's tired, but it's a very important expression. Give women a seat at the table. You need to give women an opportunity to have an impact. It's really as simple as that. And secondly, when you give them that seat, check your biases at the door. If you think a woman is not qualified in some aspect, consider that that's because she's never had an opportunity to gain that qualification, whether it's a role or a skill set or something else. Just because a woman is a different approach to something or executes in a way that's unfamiliar to you doesn't mean it's the wrong way to go about business. Women will bring a different perspective to leadership, and you should welcome that diversity of thought, just as you would with any of your other male executives. And to the currently too few women leaders out there, I would say in order for us to empower the next generation of women leaders, we have to speak up when we have a seat at that table, especially for other BIPOC women who are even less represented at an executive level. I don't know the numbers as of 2023, but in 2021, 86% of Fortune 500 CEOs were white men. So, to women leaders who currently have that opportunity to lead and to enact change, make sure that you're also elevating the other qualified women in the room, giving them opportunities, and just remembering that just because you had to fight through, or, I had to deal with this boys club, doesn't mean that that gives you a right to treat other women that way. I think, maybe a right is the wrong word, but just treat other women the way that you would want to be treated and make sure that you're elevating their voices. And again, especially looking out to the underrepresented communities that have even more obstacles than the white women leaders have to overcome. It's important that more women are represented in tech leadership roles for the same reason it's important that minorities are represented in traditionally white or male dominated spaces. Representation matters. For tech, that means that while there has been some progress, it's still very much a Silicon Valley bro culture. Women sometimes, because of that, need to have that reminder that what they're trying to accomplish professionally is important or valid. And seeing other women who have broken through is one way to connect and to feel that validation or that confidence that we often have in ourselves, but because of the system, that can get lost in terms of trying to enact change or implement, ideas or processes in a professional way. I think one of the biggest barriers I've had to overcome as a woman in tech, and especially as a female leader in tech, is the prejudices that people have towards women. And often these are prejudices that male leaders have, but sometimes other women do too. A man is praised as assertive, whereas a woman is considered bossy. That's something that is really prevalent throughout my career, has been really prevalent. One way that I've had to overcome that, or found a tool to overcome that, is to just check in with myself and make sure that what I'm saying, kind of remind myself of what I'm saying, the ideas I'm bringing up, the policies I'm trying to change, are going to have a positive impact on our business or our product or our customers. Those are all the three things that I want to make sure maintain as my North Star. And so long as those things are true, if someone wants to interpret my communication in a way based on their own bias, that's fine, because I know that what I'm doing is furthering the business. And if it's not true, then I need to reevaluate not just how I'm communicating, but what I'm communicating, and if I'm just trying to take up space or, take up air, or actually bring valid change to our company. So that's been one helpful way to overcome some of those barriers. This year's theme for International Women's Day is Embrace Equity. What this means to me is that let's retire the performative actions as it relates to equity. Embracing something means to actively take it in, to absorb it. So to me, that means actions need to be made to make equity part of our culture and part of our DNA, whether that's professionally or socially or culturally. As my wise father says, experience it, don't advertise it. I do think you can advertise it. There is a time and a place for that, but only if you've already taken the actions to enact more equitable measures, right? So it can't be, here's what we're gonna do. Oh, here's these flashy talking points. It's got to be, here's what we've done. We've already taken these changes. Again, there's not always a need to share them, advertise them, but I think that embracing equity really means going all in, doing the dirty work to get things more equitable across the board.